on the bus going round and round. Got the wheels on the bus going round and round. Yeah, wheels going round and round. Yeah, and we rolling through your town. Yeah, hey, round and round and round and round and round. Yeah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to another episode of the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. We are your first, your only source for mediocre, inconsistent, below average sports coverage. Glad you could join in with us today. My name is Chill. I got a lot to talk about. We fresh off the election this week. Got some college football, Georgia, Ole Miss. Georgia battling to keep their SEC championship hopes alive. Falcons football, a lot of other things to talk about. So make sure you tune in for the entirety of the show. But why wait any longer? Let's welcome in the crew.
Robin Hood and Little John.
Nothing turns you up like this. He looks like chewed up bubblegum with his shirt off. When he smiles, his eyes close. We're literally his only friends. His head is small, but his face is fat and puffy. I'm talking about the red-headed wonder, Matt Opie Hightower.
And
puffy.
Added that in this week for you.
I can't argue it.
Never dreaming that
Here we go, baby.
And you already know who he is. He's a UGA graduate and a die-hard dog. He can make a bottle of mouthwash stink. His bottom row looks like he bit a brick. You can have anything, but you can't have his foam finger. He is the pride of Buddy Johnson Road. Put your hands together for Adam Hight Hightower.
Hey, good morning. Glad to be here.
Good to see you.
Is that it? All right.
Oh, man. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Some applause for both of y'all just for really being here and Hight being on time and us. It's just a whole different energy when we start on time, Hight. So just credit to you for doing that and being
unselfish. At least I could do
What a guy. What a guy. So, again, thank you for listening this morning. Wherever you are listening, make sure you are subscribed. If it's on Apple, if it's on Spotify, if it is on YouTube, wherever it is, like, subscribe, give us a follow, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways, whatever you want to do. But if you miss an episode, you can always find it there, or you can visit our website at www.thebiguglysportshow.com.
You know what I was thinking about this morning, Weber?
Tell us.
How for generations and generations, people will be able to go and listen and watch
Access.
Big Ugly Sports.
Wow. Your kids will be able to tell their kids one day. They'll be proudly telling them about it.
I need to have we all need to just one day, give a shout out to our kids and give them a little message or something.
One day we'll come back to a reunion show.
Oh, a reunion show. Roger will be dead by then.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he may be dead now. He's not here. He's never going to show up.
You gotta be here for the original show to be on the reunion show.
Well, he's tired, Hight. They started basketball and he coaches so hard. It's just fatigue,
Yeah.
Little fella.
His tick gets going.
Yeah, he starts ticking bad. That's true. So, yeah.
If we do a reunion show in 10 years, how many of us are still alive?
I got 10. I mean, 20 I'm out. But
Definitely not Mitch.
No.
Dude, Mitch will outlive all of us.
Here's what we do.
He's like a cockroach. He'll just outlive everybody.
Here's my other
He'll
question.
be smoking cigs when he's 80 years old.
We do a reunion show in 10 years, and we invite all loyal bus listeners and followers. How many show up?
show. Everybody can be there.
How many come?
Six, 7 people.
Jace Thompson.
We can't name them. You're going to offend somebody if you start naming now.
I feel like Jace could be part of the reunion show, though.
Yeah, he's played a hand in for sure.
I know AJ will be there.
Well, our biggest hit was the Busmasters, the original, and he was the man behind the camera on that. So,
how about that second one? That one was wild.
If Cruz is still kicking, if he's alive with us, he'll be there.
Spank. You going down the road? You got Rico. I mean, you gonna leave people off? Yeah. You got just say to everybody else.
Everybody, all our fans, everybody will be there. It'll be crowded, standing room only.
Oh man! So y'all look forward to that. Mark calendars. 10 years, we're gonna have that.
There'll be more people there than there were at Kamala's concession speech.
Okay.
When she didn't show up that night.
Yeah, she tucked her tail.
She did.
So that leads me, Hight. And we're not a political show. Obviously, we've made our stance on that. But election's a big deal in the country. So it was. We're fresh off of it where Trump has been named the 47th president. So, Hight, we'll start with you. Just kind of tell us, how you feel. I know you've got a Republican viewpoint, conservative viewpoint, and then we'll let Opie's Democratic viewpoint kind of weigh in on.
I predicted a tight Trump victory. I thought it would be a little closer than what it was. But, So my undergrad degree is poli-sci, so I just enjoy politics in general.
I'm a poli-sci guy.
He is a poli-sci guy.
And that coffee smells good.
For those of you that don't know, that's political science.
Yeah, for the layman. But yeah, I mean, every 4 years, it does. To me, like the entertainment value's there, regardless of who wins. It's just must see TV for me. So I enjoy the whole thing. Some people don't. Some people get tired of it. I enjoy it, but now we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we get some unity and some good things for the American people.
How about Democrats?
Well, I'm glad we're covering this because I think there's a lot of people that have been waiting to hear what we thought about the election.
I'm sure they have.
I mean, if I was going to get coverage, you got CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and Big Ugly Sports.
He even named the more liberal stations for the more conservative.
Well, I think we're across both parties.
That's fair.
I think.
Well, we've got a representative of each right here at the table. So
right, I actually predicted a larger than expected Trump victory.
Here he comes, Eddie Floyd over here.
So I was, but I was nervous the night of, and I really I think I watched the election more closely this year than I have in years past. But I was still at about 9:15, 9:30.
I was going to ask how long y'all hung in.
I realized that I was not going to impact anything by staying awake, and I was going to be tired. So
I was up till midnight.
I had somehow convinced myself that the final polls closed at 10, so I said by 10:30 we're going to have something. And then as it got closer to that, they were saying some polls closed at 11, and so about 10:30 I went ahead and eased on.
I knew it wasn't going to be called until well after midnight, so I was not in it.
So I was up at midnight, and it appeared to be well in hand, and so I went on to bed. So it was.
You've had that feeling before, though. 4 years ago, appeared to be somewhat well in hand. You went to bed, and what happened when you woke up?
Yeah. No switcheroo.
No switcheroo, guys. So, I have a genuine question because I was talking to a friend of mine who was very intelligent and
was that me
from the other side of the line.
Okay.
And they were saying, and I'm genuinely curious to what you guys say. Like, what are the impacts that we will see as American people over the next 4 years? Like, do you feel like you're going to go to Zaxby's in a couple of weeks and the prices are going to drop $2 a meal? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, or is labor just going drastically the price? Does that make sense? Like, are you expecting tangible?
I think that's a gradual thing that we'll see or feel.
So let's just say, and I'm using Zaxby's as an example because that's one that comes to mind, but let's say over the last 3 years that Big Zax snack has gone from $8 to $10. Do you think it ever goes to $9? I feel like that's a hard thing to.
I don't think it does.
Once this cat's out of the bag, it's hard to get back in.
So then, what are we?
I would like to see the housing market, but kind of return back to a more affordable rate. I mean, that has, I think, but this is just my uneducated.
Not uneducated. You're a political science major, poli-sci guy.
I would say that there's a population increase as far as the people who are wanting housing, and then there's a kind of a freeze on housing, especially in this area in Dublin. We don't have enough. I've talked to realtors in the area, and we just don't have enough place for people to live. And
that's a lot of places.
Yeah, and that's what I figured. If that's happening in Dublin, more than likely that's happening in other places. So, maybe if inflation is brought down and maybe the things are kind of loosened up on people being able to build houses and whatnot, and maybe we'll see some.
I've just been curious because, everybody wants cheaper gas, cheaper groceries, but do those that once they're there, it's hard for me to imagine they go. But even if Trump opens up that whatever the pipeline, whatever it does that makes, I don't know enough about it, but it makes getting our stuff cheaper for these people to be able to sell it cheaper. Do they say, all right, well now I'm getting it for $5, I'm gonna sell it for $7 to you instead of for $10 that I've been selling?
Well, I don't know the answer to that
because I think that's what the common person's expecting.
Market, typically, our market will set its own price. The consumer will set the price. That's the way it's supposed to work in a mixed market, which what we have is a mixed market where there's some government intervention, and then there's the free market. They kind of work together, so to speak. But I mean, there could be some type of regulations placed, which is not typical of a Republican Party to place government regulations on the market. But I don't know the answer to that. I mean, that's what I would hope for, because I can tell you right now, with 4 kids, it is expensive to provide groceries.
I think it goes back to, like when you place taxes on a corporation's not going to pay taxes. Corporation is going to pass those taxes on to the American people. So that really taxes the lower class who's affected by those prices more than anybody. So by having Trump as president, he is less inclined to place those higher taxes on corporations. His viewpoint is to place less taxes, place more tariffs on incoming products, and have more mid to high level manufacturing type jobs within the United States. So I think that's the way to help, is to bring more skilled jobs into the country, eliminate more imported goods through tariffs, and then we have a stronger economy here. But I think it's never gonna just completely recover from what we did during COVID. So,
well, I think Chuck's kind of what Chuck may be getting at. Chuck, tell me if I'm wrong. Is our company's so greedy?
Yes, they're not.
They're not going to ever get it back. They're not. Oh well, it's cheaper for us to make it.
Right.
We've already been charging this,
and they're paying.
Now our profit margin's wider. Let's just hold on to that.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, because because I feel like that's what'll happen, and then it's a uphill battle that Trump can't win, and then people are going to associate that with, well, he said he was going to do this and he didn't do it. So like, how do you do that?
But the thing about a competitive market is somebody will come in with a lower price good, and then the consumer will go to that good. Unless there's collusion, which is, illegal.
Right.
Well, inflation's already slowed. We only had 1 or 2 years where it was 8 to 10%. It's normally 2 to 3%. And
that's about enough political talk here.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on.
Yeah, but I mean, we're fresh off the election, so I just want to hear y'all's take, and I was curious as to what. And the people, it's still fresh, so people, we've even talked about calling ourselves the Big Ugly Show to encompass all areas, but we are still the Big Ugly Sports Show. But I was just curious, because I think that's a question that a lot of people are asking, and so if you can take, I just want to ask you, both of you, before, because we'll let this be our first segment. But what do you think the biggest thing with Trump becoming president? As far as our country, it can be economics, it can be immigration, whatever. What do you think the biggest, difference, or the biggest thing we'll see as a country with Trump being president? And then Kamala, Opie, you can go next.
Well, I would like to see in his previous term, there was some strides made with the countries over in the Middle East, and I would like to see some of those things return. I would like for there to be, on a domestic level, I would like to see some unity. I would like to see him reach across the aisle and other people in his party, and you see the people he's got in his corner with him, like RFK Jr. and Elon Musk, hoping Tulsi Gabbard, hoping that those people can form some type of, a moderate coalition to get some positive things done for all Americans. And, I would like to see the border secured and inflation dealt with. Those would be my main points.
It sounds like a Hight 2028 run here.
A little grassroots campaign coming, but don't worry.
We'll get feedback from the fans, see what kind of momentum.
We'll run a poll.
A little straw poll. What you got, Oak? What do you think?
I think those are, you asked for one, he gave 3, and that was good. I like all 3 of those. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
feel like Will Ferrell on Old School just blacked out, right?
Just flat out and got his on. So
you're James Carville.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Hight 2028. So get ready for that. We'll let you know who's running Hight Raji 2028. So be ready for that.
I tell you what, Hight will be running in 2028 late. He'll be running
No
back.
doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, all right, we do have some sports on the other side. We've got
my victory party.
We've got some UGA football and things like that to discuss. So, we are going to take a quick commercial break to end segment 1, but make sure you stay tuned for segment 2. We'll be right back.
In the game of life, your choice of banks can make the difference between a championship performance and a trip to the showers. Since 1905, Bank of Dudley's been Middle Georgia's hometown banking team with a solid roster of banking products offering competitive rates and online services that help you cross your financial goal line. Come experience true relationship banking. Local people, local decisions, local banking. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Dogs.
This is Brad Meeks, owner of Brian's Giant Subs. Thanks for listening to the Big Ugly Sports Podcast. Come see us today to grab your favorite sub, 1632 Veterans Boulevard in the Oaks Shopping Center, Dublin, Georgia.
For all your HVAC needs, please call Elite Comfort Solutions. We specialize in commercial and residential HVAC. The number is 833-483-HVAC, and the website is www.elitecomfortsolutions-inc.com. Call for a free quote today.
Big Peach Car Wash, located on Highway 80 across from Walmart in Dublin. Coming this fall. I hadn't washed my truck in 6 years. I'm breaking that streak this fall.
Lord Sausage and Country Meats. Lord Sausage is great with every meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's especially good this time of year on the grill. Whether you're tailgating or getting ready to watch the game on TV with some friends, Lord Sausage and Country Meats has been around since 1928, so they can even remember when your team was good. But don't worry about that. When you have Lord Sausage on the grill, you're a winner too.
Welcome back into the Big Ugly Sports Show. You heard it there, right there.
Was that Dealus?
That was Dealus. Our newest sponsor to close out this year is Lord Sausage. Most of you that are listening to this know all too well about Lord Sausage. It's the best around, so we appreciate their
good
sponsorship.
grocery right there.
Good
I
grocery.
mean, not just because he's sponsored, because I've seen nothing of it. Chill's keeping it all, but I do love Lord Sausage. That's my favorite kind of sausage. They just have the best.
Just no doubt.
One thing about Opie. He loves his sausage.
It does love it. I love it.
I mean, look at him.
Dude, you ever thought about, so sometimes I've seen Lord Sausage trucks running around. I'm like, man, what would it be like to be like, everybody knows about my sausage? You know, that's got to be a good place to be.
They
Just
know
have
about
the
them
best sausage that everybody loves.
Lord. So sorry about Opie ruining that right there as far as me giving love to our new sponsor,
I
Lord
don't think I
Sausage.
ruined.
So
I just enhanced it by talking about
And
how good it is.
you can be looking forward
genuine place.
possibly next week to us breaking some bread with some sausage in here. We do appreciate their sponsorship and them working with us, and appreciate Dealers for
You get
making that happen.
Captain John Durst bread.
Man, a little mayonnaise.
Ooh, I'm not a mayonnaise guy, but
Mayonnaise,
Deal.
mustard. Let's go, baby.
So thankful for them. But while we're talking about Dealers, let's talk about Trey, his son. That came to my mind. So the Raider football team, Trey plays for them, and fresh off a huge victory Tuesday night at Baldwin.
Big win. Trey's a good boy. He wrestled for me down at the middle school.
Yep, a junior.
Tuesday night games. Wow, what's up with that?
Well, so the
Hurricane Helene.
little hurricane, and West missed one game. West missed one game, and then had the open week, whereas Baldwin and some other teams missed 2 games. So West's schedule ended up Thursday, Tuesday. Well, like Baldwin ended up Thursday, Tuesday, and they played this Saturday. So they're 3 games in 2 weeks. But West went over to Baldwin, won 28-14, big win to finish 8-2 on the year. So man, just shout out to the Raider coaching
What a
staff.
year.
We got all right. So we got Kip Burdett. He's the head coach. We got Gabriel Mays Gay. He's the offense coordinator. And we got Kenny Murphy.
Kenny Murphy.
I mean,
And then,
defense
we
coordinator, and them guys. What a season they put together.
You got a loyal J.D. Carter, loyal listener of the show on the offensive side. Parker Gordon on the defensive side. I mean, the list goes on and on.
And then I mean, you got to give a shout out to Ty.
Wow, stud. Holds the single season West Orange record now, I'm pretty sure, for rushing.
Ty Cummings.
Ty
Everybody.
Cummings. And he's a junior.
Yes. Former. I'm not taking credit.
That's
for
exactly
anything.
what he's doing.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying these kids were also wrestlers, and they're great athletes.
They also
Good at
run
man.
track, so I mean.
And Ty can run. Golly, Kenny. He's good.
So congrats.
You would love to watch him.
He's a stud. He really is. So Raiders 8-2. I think they've won 3 games the 2 years before this. So you talk about a turnaround to go 8-2 and set yourself up for playoffs, possibly a home playoff game. I talked to Coach Burdett earlier this week, and
Brandon Edmonds. We can't
Brandon Edmonds. I mean, Isaiah Stevens. If we want to keep naming Trevor Wood,
it's kind of I don't understand why you start naming people.
Because I'm just excited for Raider Nation. You wouldn't understand. He wouldn't understand.
I wouldn't understand. I'm not that excited for, it's not me. Well, how's it?
I mean,
I hate to ask,
kids, Chuck.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm all for it. I'm glad they're being successful.
no, you're not.
Typical.
I am. I'm not as invested as y'all are.
I can't figure out how you're okay.
How's East Lawrence?
Not
good.
Relevant.
Okay.
They're working hard and they're getting better and they're going.
Sorry, East
get
Side.
after it again. They're going to get after it again. I think people are behind their new coach. They've been competitive in the games, even the ones they didn't win. I think they're excited about what's to come down the road. They got some really good athletes over there.
They do that. I think they had to win Saturday. I mean, the last Friday, or they had to win the other day to get in, and they didn't. Friday a week ago.
But they were in contention. That's good.
They were in contention. Yep. So,
hey, congratulations, West Lawrence. Great
Thank you.
turnaround.
Thank you.
Well, and then
That's all we needed. I mean, we sat here and cheered on Jack's 8th grade team.
Yeah,
So we expect you to cheer on the Raiders.
I am. I'm hope they do well.
Thank you.
Didn't really get that vibe early on.
We all misread vibes all the time.
Well, no,
Not that one.
I don't think so.
One thing Hight won't do is misread a vibe now or a room. He knows well what's going on.
Well done.
I will say
Well
this:
done for reading the room.
I have gotten so much better at reading a room, and I have realized that I don't necessarily care what other people think or feel.
Well, you caught up with the rest of us. We also realize that.
About him?
Yeah.
But that's not unique to me now. Don't do that. Y'all don't care that much.
That's not true. We're both very considerate of other people's feelings, empathetic. Well, for instance, just one small example: showing up on time, early even. That is.
But he just said he don't care what other people feel or think. So
I know. I know that doesn't impact you in any way, but I'm just saying.
I don't always not care.
Nobody said you did.
You know what I mean?
More than most.
So again, congratulations to the Raiders. Well, we rat-tailed right here. Also, congratulations to not congratulations, but Toombs. Man, I went and watched the Toombs Savannah Christian game last Friday, and
we did.
Or Hight, I forgot we went. Yeah, I forgot Hight. I don't know. So we went, and man, it was a great game. Toombs ended up losing 14-7. Had plenty of opportunities to get the win, but it was just Toombs. Hopefully, will go all the way and win it, but. To parlay us into some college football here.
Hold on one second.
Go ahead.
1 second. I just got to say this. If you high school football fans in this area, okay, I know that some of you are diehards, but when I went to that Toombs County football game, it reminded me of what I love so much about Toombs County whenever I worked down there. I mean, you look around and there's people. I mean, you
don't
got
get emotional, Hight.
I'm trying. It's tough. Listen. People are. It's a road game. There's more Toombs County people there than
it's
there
a 2-hour road game.
Yeah, there's more people there from Toombs than there were from Savannah Christian.
Whole side pack.
And it's people of all kids. We saw kids that we taught and coached. There's people that are in their 60s and 70s making a trip down there. I look over this one fella. He's got a hat. It says, "On the 6th day, God created the bulldog," like Toombs County. I mean, it's just die hard. And I saw you walking through, and there's people that you played ball with, or just people from the community that you have known for. And it's just, I just wish that every community would have the same
just passion, excitement. Yeah,
passion for their
into the game, cheer, and it was great. It was,
and that that kind of I guess I'm piggybacking off of that viral Facebook post you made. Challenging the Raider Nation to.
Well, we finna see how we respond if we get a home game. So I'm gonna issue another challenge if we win it, because it's not a shot at the Raiders as far as it just is. Hopefully, like a little butt tap. Hey, these guys 8-2 is good. Like they deserve better than us just sitting there on our hands and
came off as kind of condescending. I felt like.
Well. That's because you're an idiot.
Chuck's posting? Yeah, he is. But, dude,
we'll see how they respond.
It was realist.
There was this one guy behind me.
That's what I was
There was one dude at the game behind me. Dude, I had to move. He was screaming at the top of his lungs every play, and he's not he loves
Clueless
football.
about football.
Loves football, not one drop of knowledge about it. And he was screaming.
Terrible voice.
It was.
He literally screamed the whole game. He screamed and screamed. And Hight lost it this one time. He yells, this Savannah Christian kid gets hurt on our sideline. He starts yelling that you're not hurt. Get up. You're not hurt.
He said, give him some milk.
But he's not trying to be funny. Like, dude, that was not his intent.
I about fell out on bleachers. I was laughing so hard. I couldn't quit laughing.
And then, like, we had the ball. Toombs had the ball. It was like 2nd down and 9, and there's an offsides penalty. And he's like, offsides, automatic first down. And Buck said, Brett, like, no.
Showbread.
Dude,
and man, I love it. It's just Toombs County people, man. It's amazing.
So, congrats to them guys. Good luck the rest of the way. There could be possibly a Toombs Dublin meetup, but probable actually at some point in the state playoffs. And man, that's going to be electric. That's what everybody's talking about.
That will be a fun game because Dublin is having a really good year again this year, and they got a pretty bright future as far as playoff run.
And we're going to be there if they happen. So, let's stay with UGA a little bit. A couple of headlines there. Obviously, UGA traveling to Ole Miss this weekend, and what's, these next 2 weeks are the biggest 2 weeks left of the season for Georgia, and a chance to keep their SEC championship hopes alive. And really, if we can pull this one off, make for an electric game next week at home against Tennessee. But a couple of headlines coming out. One, Ed even sent it to us, was Kobe Young, the receiver from Georgia has been, I don't know if he's been suspended, I guess would be the word.
He was suspended indefinitely, yeah.
And Hight, tell us kind of what's coming from that.
Well, so the charges have been dropped. I've not seen any updates.
At the request of the
victim.
Yeah.
Right. So, I'm curious to see. I'm hopeful, that he can be reinstated and then, be able to.
We need him.
If you're suspended indefinitely, does that mean from all team activities, or is that just on-field activities? Is he still being able to work out and, watch film and attend meetings? I don't know that.
I don't know. I would assume that means that you're suspended from everything. But
it says, I just typed in, has Kobe Young been able to practice? It says, no, Georgia wide receiver Kobe Young has been indefinitely suspended from the team since October the 9th. Okay. So,
we don't really know anything about what's going on. So let's not get into that. But what we will get into.
Why not? That's exactly what we get into.
But what we will
this
get
show
into,
is pure speculation.
But what we will get into is, man, do we need a wide receiver?
And
he was the best one we had when he was
catch
playing.
the ball.
Just a big guy to go up and get the ball.
Yeah.
We need it bad.
We did just land a top 3 receiver, a 4-star guy. So
can you imagine how good we'll be if we start landing some good receivers?
We got to get after. That's a major weakness, man.
As long as nothing else slows down, like we're not replacing them with it. But you add that to Georgia.
Here's my question: Carson Beck's having a very difficult year. Okay, struggling. Does he come back again?
He can't come back again.
I thought he had a COVID year. Thought he had another year.
Y'all keep talking.
You may be right. You may be right, but no, you don't come back another year. I mean, he's still got the arm strength. He's still going to be a high.
All right, okay. You're Carson Beck, and you get a grade, NFL draft grade prediction of 3rd round coming back. 3rd round money versus 1st round money.
Well, I think for quarterbacks, it's more about that second contract. So you want to go ahead and get out there and get that second contract. But
Carson Beck is listed as a redshirt senior, so yeah. I can't imagine unless there's that.
Well, but you may get I think you only get a 6th year if you had already used your red shirt.
He was redshirted his freshman year.
Either way, I don't think he'll come back. I don't think so either.
And
I don't think he'll get a 3rd round grade.
I think first of all, I think he's going to have a big week this week. I think
calling it.
I'm calling it.
Ooh, I like it.
I think he's
fresh off calling the election, so
he's coming in, getting a lot of bad press off some things that were his fault, some things that weren't his fault, and I think he's maybe pressing a little too much. I think he brings it back to center, really focuses up this week.
Should he break up with his girlfriend? Social media keeps blaming his girlfriend.
I can't. From a dude standpoint, I can't put that on him.
I
He's
think
got
that is
good for him.
I think
because he's ugly. I mean, he's hideous.
He
so.
is hideous.
We did once.
And she's not.
Who's the somebody? I keep seeing people post. He looks like a South Park character. Timmy or something. Timmy.
Yeah. I mean, no, you don't break up with her, but maybe just don't post on Instagram about it. It's too late. The cat's out of the bag, and I will say that it is happening at a suspiciously similar time than as all these bad plays.
He needs a doggone lock in.
He needs some wide receivers and a running game. That's
He
what
also one thing he can control. He can't control his wide receivers catching the ball, and he really can't even control his running back. One thing that bothers me about Carson Beck, and I'm a Carson Beck fan. I think he's an excellent football player, but his body language when things are going south is terrible. When he goes there and sits on the bench and just slumps down with his his eyes hanging and his helmet just like
dude can't help his eyes. That's just what he looks like.
No, he's got to look.
He looks like that when things are going good too.
Yeah.
No, when he throws a pick and he's throwing it like blaming the guy. Yeah, sure, Arian Smith and I think it was Lovett last game missed his check and he ended up throwing an incomplete pass and a pick against Texas. But
you're right. Jim. He should come over.
I
there
don't
and
have
just
a problem
you're the quarterback.
with. I don't have. Hold on. I don't have.
You're the quarterback.
Chuck,
you pick them up.
Chuck, I don't have a problem with a quarterback getting on one of his teammates.
No problem with that.
I do not like if he's pouting.
That's what
it's frustration because I can do better. Sure. Hey, rally the troops, give a rah-rah, go over there and tell people my bad, I'm going to get right, stuff like that, sure. Pout, being sad, no.
That might work the first two interceptions. It don't work the third.
But here's the thing.
But you QB1. You got better do that.
I do believe he's going to be fine. I do believe that he's the best QB on our roster.
Without a doubt.
These people calling for Gunnar Stockton
that's
play
ridiculous.
is
absurd. It's our buddy Ed added me to this group on Facebook, and they make me feel so intelligent. Like they're some
it
of the,
take much.
You're run of the mill idiot.
It's an impressive amount of idiocy in there. And Ed, I don't really comment. I don't comment on there unless I see Ed comment, and then I go in there and I tell Ed how smart he is. But man, there's Raji talks about how Georgia fans are so obnoxious and annoying, and if you want to see that, go look at this group. You'll realize why people don't like Georgia football fans. But I guarantee you, every fan base is that way.
For sure.
Bottom line is, we don't need to be throwing the ball 40 times a game. That's where he needs to be in that 25 pass range a game, and we got to run the ball in order for that to happen. Because so far he has gotten us in and out of bad situations every game. So we just need him. We need to run a game. And I don't understand why we haven't been able to run the ball. We're supposed to have a great offensive line.
Well, we've been banged up on O-line. And our right tackle, what's his name?
Truss. Xavier Truss.
Yeah, I watched some film on him.
He's having a great year.
He's struggling.
He's studying film.
Yeah. Height's locked in now. One thing about him.
He's on the message board.
It's for the show. He's doing it for the show. We probably paying for a subscription.
Dedication.
We probably paying for a subscription. That big ugly.
I only do that during my free time, never at work.
Absolutely. Where are we at on the fan fight at UGA with
that was tough.
The deputy that?
Oh man, they really got pretty aggressive. You hadn't seen the video on that
in Jacksonville?
Yeah, the dudes just both cops just going to town on these guys.
And I even saw another video of a different angle.
That's how you're supposed to police.
I saw another video of a different angle, and I thought surely at some point in this video one of these guys is going to smoke this cop, which led to him doing that. I didn't see it, so I don't know what they did.
Yeah, I finally caught the one of them in its entirety. And now they were refusing to leave with the officer, but I don't know how you get wailed on by an officer. I thought, and now I'm not a legal expert.
You're not,
but I thought, thank you. But
he is a poli-science major.
Poli-sci.
Drop that.
But I thought that once they got you down, they had to like stuff and cuff like Roscoe.
I don't know. It was bad look for them. They didn't what's done happened? They didn't have a bait of them drunk people out there, and them people just tipped the iceberg right there. That was it.
But I will say, if a police officer asks you to go,
do it.
You get on out of there.
I had a buddy who was down there and he's a pretty good partier. He's a little bit of a wild man, and they were down there. He said He said he got down there and he saw how many cops were down there and all the craziness that was going on. He said he poured out his beer and didn't have about 5 all weekend. He said, "This ain't gonna be the weekend that I get waylaid on the stairs."
But them cops, I felt like it was a little bit overkill. They probably gonna get.
Yeah, they probably
Gonna get some discipline on there.
Yeah, probably
rightfully so.
If I was one of them folks, I'm injured bad. Lawsuit.
Yep. But they probably are. That one fellow,
no doubt.
he's definitely hurting. All right, so before we go to our last commercial break and welcome in our guest caller, this is totally switching gears, and I mentioned a little bit about Hight, but I want to hear him. I've already kind of got his take on it. Opie, I was curious to what you had to say about it. So I don't know if you've heard, there's a new golf league coming out, and I actually heard it listening to the Falcons pregame show the other day, and they had Billy Horschel in there talking, and he is a part of Arthur Blank's team, and it's called the Atlanta Drive. And I think it's the league, I think maybe it's TGL is what it's called. And I thought it was Top Golf League, but it's called like Tech Golf League. And like Justin Thomas is on the Atlanta team. I mean, there's some big name stars in it. And they're going to play periodically starting in January throughout the spring. It's going to be on ESPN, like it's getting the prime time broadcast. But essentially, they're going to be in an arena, a SoFi Arena, but not the one in LA. I can't remember where it is. And they're going to have a crowd in there. But in front of them, they're going to have a 57 by 67 foot screen that they're going to hit off of real grass into the screen. Wherever the second shot lies, they have real rough, they have real sand that they'll play out of, and then once they get inside the quote-unquote green zone, which has a little bit of fringe and some sand and green, they actually will walk forward to what in front of them is a rotating green to give them different approaches to that stick. And they're actually going to, it's like 4-on-4 compete. You can place bets on it, all that stuff. Where you at on that?
That's terrible. That sounds awful. Awful. I don't even watch Live Golf. Live Golf is terrible. I have no interest in
but this
golf.
is different.
Well, you got to remember, he's not really a golf guy.
That's not true. I ain't
He's
a golf
not a
guy.
golf
I
guy.
like
No,
golf.
he
I like
doesn't.
watching golf. I like playing golf. I'm not good at it, but I enjoy it. And
So here's the Atlanta Drive team. If maybe this will make you feel better
no,
about it.
I could care less who's on it. I could not care less.
Okay. Now we're on the same
There's
page.
no interest in team golf unless it's the Ryder Cup.
Lucas Glover, Patrick Cantlay,
Oh, Lucas Glover's on there? I'll take it all back. I'm in.
Justin Thomas,
Lucas
and
is
Billy
good.
Horschel.
Patrick Cantlay, really good. Justin Thomas and Billy Horschel.
Yeah, they're professional golfers. I just don't care.
Well, their hope is to get people more involved in the game of golf and promote indoor golf where people are actually getting out and doing stuff on simulators.
You're right. The only way to make golf better, let's do it inside.
Well, it will rain sometimes.
Can you imagine if they built a wall and a roof on Green Acres?
Son.
And just think, if they built a wall down by on hole 4, down by your hole, I could just carry them off that wall back into the field. Man,
Now, bumpers of some kind, I would like that.
that's stupid, Opie.
If I had bumpers and couldn't hit it out of bounds, my score would be way better.
Still average.
Way better. No, still below it. I mean, it would be bad. But I'd probably break 80, 90.
All right, it is time for our final quick commercial break. On the other side, we're going to have our guest picker. We'll welcome him into the show and get our picks locked in for this week. So y'all stay with us. We will be right back.
Bank of Dudley is proud to sponsor the Big Ugly Sports Show. Wherever you're listening to your favorite sports show, you can also be banking with your favorite bank. Bank of Dudley offers mobile and online banking platforms to make managing your money easy. Get on that Bank of Dudley bus. Bank of Dudley since 1905. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. We are here for segment 3, and you know what that means. It's time for our college picks this week and to welcome in our guest picker. But before we do that, let me give you a quick update on the standings for the bus picks for the year.
Yeah, go ahead and update them.
What?
Go ahead and update them.
Pulling in dead last still at 40 and 50 overall after a 4-6 week. That would be Chill, which this is just more case in point of why I don't gamble on sports anymore. You know, I'd rather just gamble with my pride in here. But I'm sitting in last at 40 and 50. Raji, one stroke ahead of me, sitting in third at 41 and 49 after a 3-7 week. Hight, hanging tight right there in second place after a 6-4 week to get to 48 and 42 overall. And then the redheaded wonder, Opie Hightower, with a 7-3 week, now sitting atop at 50 and 40. So plus 10 above 500.
Hey,
Congratulations.
y'all just lock in with me, and I'll make us some money.
There we go. I'm with you.
Anything over 500 is pretty good, especially after 90 games.
Hey, listen, your score is very respectable. It would probably win most competitions.
Well, both of y'all are to the good. Me and Raji, we'd be upside down right now. But
here's the thing about this: a lot of football left to play.
Lots.
I could easily go upside down.
Or you could easily run away with it.
Anything can happen.
You're a winner on this show. All right, so let's get ready to welcome in our guest picker. Currently, Brian Fitzgerald was on last week. He pulled off a 3-7 record. So the high mark still yet to be overtaken miraculously through 10 weeks is 6-4. So 6-4, just above 500, is sitting at top.
One thing I know about my boy Patty J, he's gonna get it done.
With that being said, let's welcome in Patrick Patty J. Jordan. Pat, what's going on?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
What? I'm just happy to have you. I mean, just to hear your voice, man.
It's been
what
too
an
long.
honor.
Been too long.
Football season, man. It's long. It's a grind.
It must not be as big a grind as basketball season because Raji just can't.
He can't show up.
Muster it.
I mean, Pat's up early.
Dude, Pat's one of my favorite people because he knows. Pat, who's your favorite high tower?
Oak wins and everything. You heard the pick.
Dude.
Well, I'm not surprised. Them redheads going to stick together.
Pat, tell us real quick. Update us on that beard. How's your beard looking this morning?
It's getting gray, man. I'm getting old.
Was that picture I saw yesterday a recent picture?
Yeah, not a good one either.
Oh, my God. You look like you were 60 years old, Pat.
I haven't had time to get a haircut, man. It's just like yesterday. It was all day. We had football. We practiced in the pouring rain, soaking wet, and then we went straight to Fields of Faith for SCA. AJ Wright preached, and he did a really good job.
Y'all need to cover practice facility.
All right, Pat, are y'all still doing morning workouts?
Yeah, we practice every Wednesday at 5 a.m. And so that's been kind of different. But I like it in the long run because, then you get a little, well, we don't, but the players get a little break from, Wednesday morning, and then they just have a walkthrough Thursday afternoon. So it's a lot of
nice.
Good.
I would enjoy that.
Tell the people where you're coaching at. I don't know that we know.
Yeah.
I'm at Jones County now.
Them Greyhounds.
This is my sixth school, so I've been around.
He's a hot commodity.
I've coached at every division except 6A, I think, in Georgia.
So how's the season going for y'all, buddy?
Yeah, it was going pretty good, and it just got better for us. We finished the season at 8-2, and then there was a little controversy with one of the schools, and they ended up having to forfeit 9 games, and it was one of the teams that beat us, and so I guess we finished 9-1 technically. Going into the playoffs, we get to host second seed.
Man, y'all are on a heater.
Yeah, we had a pretty good season.
Great coaching. Got to be great coaching.
Well, Pat, I just appreciate you being up early, man. I know you know back when we used to live together, the mornings were tough around the hill, George. Well, really around my house, and you just were there, but
Feels help.
So let's dive in. As you heard me say, 6-4, Pat, is the mark to beat. I got to feel like you can do that. Jay for sure will doubt your ability to do this, but I believe in you.
What's Jay's record? That's what I mean.
He didn't get an invite to this.
Gotcha.
So he's not trustworthy enough for us to call at around 6, and expect him to answer.
Ray won't let him get up early. The only time he ever made it to the show is when he accidentally woke up that early.
He has to let the dogs out.
He ain't allowed.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so let's dive into these picks this week. And Opie, we'll start with you. Lead us off right here. A few good games on the slate, but not a lot. But you do have Florida. I put this one on there because of the big spread. You got Florida getting 21.5 heading into Texas. Who you got, Ope?
That's a ton of points, and I would normally say that's too many points, but I think Florida was gassed up for Georgia game. They're going to be a little down, and their quarterback situation is a mess. I got Texas 21.5.
Hight?
Yeah, I'll go with I'll roll with Texas as well.
All right.
Keeping it short and sweet.
Yeah, short and sweet. Give me the Gators in honor of Tate King here. I think 21. They could lose by 21, but give me that half to cover right there. I think Florida's. I think they proved it last week. Even though Georgia didn't play well, I think Florida's somewhat better than people give them credit for. I even heard their losses this year against all top ranked teams. So and here's another top ranked team for them. So give me the Gators with the points. What about you, Patty J?
Is Lagway playing?
I don't. That's a good. No, I doubt.
I don't
He had a severe hamstring injury.
He carted off. I think he's out.
And the thing that I read after the game was that it was a pretty severe injury.
Which they're back up.
Not 14 hours ago. Not expected to play.
I need some insider information on that. Oh, I'm going to go in the dark here. I'm going with the Gators.
Well, Hight gave you these picks earlier in the week, didn't he, for you to study?
Last night at 7:48.
I got a lot going on, guys.
Thanks.
All right, Hight, lead us off right here. We'll come back to the Georgia game, but you got South Carolina minus 3.5 at Vandy. This typically not a game that makes this list.
I'm excited to watch this game.
Typically not a game
I wish it were at South Carolina because their game atmosphere is a little better, or a lot better actually. But
don't you mess around and say Vandy ain't tough to play.
How dare you?
But I'm gonna take South Carolina to cover.
Okay. Oh,
I got South Carolina by a couple more than a touchdown.
Give me Vandy, man. Vandy, despite what Nick Saban said, Vandy's a tough place to play. Nashville's rocking.
Hold on a second. He's heard your pick and my pick, and he's still going with his intuition.
That's wild.
I don't understand.
Well, that should be more validation for y'all.
Imagine if Vandy hadn't lost to Georgia State, how high they'd be riding right now.
But listen, you still can't bring them down. They riding high. Give me Vandy and the outright win. They don't even need a 3.5. What you got, Pat?
I should have said this beforehand. During my season, high school football season, I don't watch a ton of college football, but I did catch a couple of games last weekend, and I saw South Carolina playing pretty good. I mean, they were like world beaters last week, so I'm going with the high hand, picking South Carolina.
Well, Pat, I want to let you know we didn't bring you on the show for your expertise in college football. We brought you on the show because we want to talk to you, hang out with you a little bit, bud. That's what it comes down to.
From the heart.
Yeah, and Pat, you can flip a coin and get about 5 and 5 on this, which is amazing. Well, even more amazing how bad Chuck is doing. Because literally,
is that your strategy though? Have you used that?
Pat, does this take you back about my ability to make picks right here? Does this take you back that day we were watching football in the living room at the old house when y'all had convinced me to put $500, everything I had on
the Falcons?
The Falcons. Yeah, they were playing the Dolphins.
It was not hard to convince you.
I'll never forget. They were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins kicked the field goal.
Up big.
Yeah, up big. The Dolphins kicked the field goal to end the game to win it, and it broke my heart.
They were up by like 28 points.
And nobody loved it more than Pat. It didn't take much convincing, though. I was ready. All right, Pat, you lead us off with this one. Florida State. Big spread. We did this for Raji, even though he ain't here. I mean, Florida State's mud, but 26 points is a lot of points. So you got Florida State plus 26 at Notre Dame.
We're going with Florida State. No reason, just choosing Florida State.
Okay. So let me give you. Well, I was trying to give him a little something right here that might help him. There you go, Pat. That bring back some memories for you.
I used to play that in the hallways before big games.
Did you walk down the hallway and slap hands with all the kids?
Just full of focus on them, you know.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Pat wore his eye black to school, no doubt. Hight, who you got?
Gosh, I'm torn right here. It's a long trip and it's an away game, you know, for FSU, but it's a pile of points, and I'm gonna have to take FSU in the points here.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah. I mean Notre Dame's a much better team. Florida State is just. I mean, if they could quit playing right now, they would. But 26 points is a lot of points for a Notre Dame team that doesn't score a ton. I think they'll run the ball, be conservative. I think it'll be around that 21, 24 point, but I don't think they're going to get 26.
I think it's going to come down to how many picks FSU throws and how many pick sixes. It's going to be.
That was like a clean sweep to me. Give me Florida State. All right. I hope I just didn't mess up the recording.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I paused it. We back. We back.
Okay.
Just missed the war chant right here. Sorry about that little break. My fat finger hit the button. All right, Hight. A good game right here, though. Alabama -2.5 at LSU. This is one of those games you always look at as fun to watch, and so
Yeah, this will be a fun one for sure. Is it a night game?
yes.
Night game at LSU. I'm going to take LSU.
Okay. Outright?
Wish the spread was a little bigger. No, I don't know.
They win. They lose by less than 2.5. So
Yeah, I mean, a real tight game.
Okay. All right.
I mean, they might win, but I don't know.
LSU outright at night.
All right. Give me Bama. Rotad.
I feel good about it. Anytime you pick against what I pick, I feel good.
That's why I'm doing it. But I'm trying to help you. I just wish Opie'd pick against you so I could help you. But all right. What about you, Pat?
I'm going LSU just because Opie picked LSU.
That's smart. That is smart.
That's fair.
Opie's secretly shadow picking behind me right here.
Where are you going to make a difference? Those other 5 he don't know about. You need to wait. Let him send his first in the group before you send yours.
He's cheating off Adam's paper.
So that'll be the good night game. So a good weekend Saturday to watch Georgia and then them. So that leads us to Georgia -2.5 at Ole Miss, and we'll give Pat an opportunity to end it with his pick because he's got some.
Yeah, so I want to make sure we give
that'll
him a
lead
chance.
to conversation with that. He's got some skin in the game there. But Opie, Georgia -2.5 at Ole Miss.
I got Georgia. Anytime you can get Georgia with points or with only 2.5, losing 2.5 points,
No
I
matter
think
who
you
they
got to
play.
take it.
No matter who they play.
Well, that was smooth explanation.
UGA versus the world.
I mean, they 2.5. Georgia.
Yeah, I'm almost always going to take Georgia because they're pretty doggone good. But the spread being as low as it is, I'm gonna roll with it.
They doggone good.
Yes, sir.
Tell them, Hight. Tell them what to do. Hight.
Bite, baby.
Hunker down, baby. Hunker down. All right, give me the Dogs too. I think. I just hope we don't overlook them to Tennessee. I don't think we did. I think that's what we did against Florida. Is kind of overlooked them a little bit, and they gave us a scare. But
well, the Dogs, I mean, put it on them pretty handily last year in Athens.
Yep.
But
they're going to be in up for this because Ole Miss is
it's at Ole Miss, and I know Georgia's personnel is not the same. The team, they have had some struggles offensively, but I think 2.5 is easy to handle.
Kirby said they're the best combination of offense and defense in the SEC.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Well, we're going to see.
Little coach speak for you. Mm-hmm. Kirby just buttering them up.
All right, Pat, give us before you can give us your pick and then tell us your relation or vice versa. But what you got with Georgia and Ole Miss?
First off, am I y'all's Lee Corso?
Yes.
All right, not so fast, my friend. I can't believe that dude's still on TV. Anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
My mind is telling me Georgia.
No. Oh.
But the heart's telling me to go with Ole Miss. I got a former player that's a starting middle linebacker at Ole Miss. His name's Chris Paul Jr. And he's just a great kid, man. Great player. I love watching him play. I've been watching them. I've watched a little bit more football this year than I have in the past for college football, but I just like watching him, man.
So I can remember you talking about this kid when you were at Crisp, wasn't it?
Yeah. He was
how y'all just had a great relationship, and he was just such a good kid. And you and his dad are pretty good friends. And he went to Arkansas right out of high school, didn't he?
Yeah, he was. So first of all, he's the real deal, man. His family, he comes from a great family, and like you said, his dad's a great guy. He coached with us actually at Crisp, and but yeah, he's if not the best, he's one of the best that I've been around in high school. He was committed to Nebraska originally, and then he got the SEC offer, and he chose to go to Arkansas. I think he was there for 3 years, and then he got in the portal this past year. I guess Kiffin scooped him up, which I think they had the best portal class out of anybody. But yeah, he was the top-ranked linebacker in the portal, I believe, and then he's currently the top-ranked linebacker in college football in terms of is it the PFF? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, that's what I think it was. Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, he's the top-rated linebacker in college football.
That's great.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I'll be looking for him for sure. Chuck and I went to the Arkansas game when he was still there, when they played at Georgia, and I saw his parents where they were rocking the Paul Arkansas jerseys. Yeah. Thought it was pretty cool.
They're probably beat.
Pat said he's going to work on getting us Pooh Paul on here one morning. So
okay.
Yeah, I was telling Chuck, y'all need to get his dad. He's pure entertainment.
What about before we get you off? The Bryant kid, Sarad, is he still playing?
Yeah, he was at Tech, and then he also hit the portal at the same time Pooh did, and he ended up at UAB. He was their leading tackler through midway through the season. I haven't looked at his stats here lately, but he's doing good, man. He's got opportunity to play.
Another stud out of Chris County, and another Pat Jordan protege. So.
You got any other kids out there, Pat? I mean, not your own personal children. You may have some of those too, but kids in college.
The Daytona, Panama City area. They should be about. Just kidding. We were talking about this the other day. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but my last three safeties I coached in high school. My last three safeties I coached in high school all went Power 5. Well, I'm coaching one currently. He's committed to North Carolina. And then a kid I coached in Montgomery is at Penn State.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He's a running back up there. But, yep, it's cool, man. It's cool to see all those kids go off and, become their own man. And I enjoy watching them.
Pat, the Big Ugly appreciate the influence you have on young men and growing them up to be
absolutely
great fellas.
Almost as much impact as Adam has by all these kids wrestling.
That's true, because he will credit everything they've done to him wrestling in middle school and elementary school.
Well, you know who the most influential Pat's ever been in his life? When he helped Jay grow up.
I thought you were going to say Jay helped raise me.
No.
We could probably take a whole episode and just sit here and discuss stories of me and Pat and Jay living together, and it would be straight comedy. But
let me lead off with one real quick quick story.
Okay.
All right, so I'm living with Chuck in Dublin. I can't remember how long we've been there. It's just me and Chuck, and then it becomes me, Chuck, and Jay. And Jay
in a 2-bedroom.
Yep. Jay sleeping on our couch every night it had to have been a long time. And so they got to talking about moving into a bigger spot. And I was like, yeah, we'll talk about it. So I go to school one day, and then I come home, and all my stuff's gone. The house is empty. And I was like, what's going on here? And Jay and Chuck had just decided to move into a house, moved all my stuff out of the current house, moved me into another house completely.
And I helped him move.
Gave me the crappiest room in the house. I was like,
that's where all the fun happens, though, Pat.
Listen, if those that don't know, and Chuck, he tries to put on that he's like all buttoned up because he's assistant principal and all this other stuff. One of the most impulsive people I've ever met.
Oh, no doubt.
and loves to stir the pot and have fun more than anybody. But he always does it where he catches no flack about it. And just comes across as like the most well-mannered,
I just cared so much for Jay, and Jay was homeless at the time, and I just felt bad for him, so I need to give him a room.
I bet we could fill a show with people who like, well, Jay was staying on our couch.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, Pat. Well, we appreciate your time this morning, bud, and good luck the rest of the way, and go Greyhounds.
That's right.
All right. Enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for having me.
See you,
bud. That's Patty 2J right there, a long time friend of the bus gang. And so with that, boys and girls, we've come down to the end here. So just another fun show, and Hight, bring us home.
Hey, be sure to check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and thebiguglysportshow.com, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Hope you got anything?
I'm
good. What you got?
I'm tired of my ideas getting pushed to the end of the show and then not getting on here.
Yeah, that's good. That's works. That's how we plan it. But thank you to all of our sponsors. I'm not going to name them all now because I might leave one off, but do welcome on Lords as our new sausage, our new sponsor. But we do appreciate all you do, and wherever you're at there, whatever you're doing, Hight, tell them what to do.
Get on that bus.
You ain't never seen wipers with the swag like this. And they swishing. Yeah, they they swishing, 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 swishing. Ooh.